Good morning students, welcome you all for online classes. Today we will discuss the concept of secondary memory and different kinds of ports and connections. Okay, let's see secondary memory. So what do you mean by secondary memory? It is the external memory. It is the external memory of the computer. Why external memory? Because this device is outside of the motherboard. Okay, main memory will always kept in this motherboard, but secondary memory is outside the motherboard. That's why we can call external memory. This is your external memory. See here, it can be used to store data and information as a long-term basis, means permanently it will store your data, and it is also called non-volatile memory. Non-volatile memory means data stays intact even if the computer is turned off. After saving your data is still remains in your secondary device, that is external memory. Okay, see, in this way your data will going to store external device. It is reading and writing your data. This is called hard disk drive. Okay, data cannot be directly processed by processing unit, or we can call CPU in secondary memory. Okay, this is our CPU. Okay, and this is your secondary memory or external memory. This is your RAM. So data cannot be directly processed by processing unit, means CPU. Okay, but how it will going to process? Its process, it is the first transferred into the main memory. Whatever content is there, that will transferred into the main memory, that is RAM. See here, in this way, and then it's transferred back to the processing unit. So after transferred into main memory will going to this CPU will going to access the main memory, then transferred back to the secondary device. In this way it will process the your data. Yes, I hope you are clearing this concept. After secondary memory, this data will go to main memory, then main memory to your CPU, then process back to the secondary device. In this way it will going to access or transfer your data from secondary memory to CPU. So it is slower than primary memory. Why it is slower? Because it has to transfer data to RAM, then CPU, then from CPU it will get the data. Okay, but in primary memory concept, this is your primary memory. See, this is CPU. Here only data is there, so it will going to patch the data easily, so it is fast, right? But in secondary memory it should transfer data to RAM, then CPU, so it will take little bit time. So that's why we can call it is slower than primary memory. but can be stored large amount of data. Primary memory, it will store small amount of data, okay, but this secondary memory will store large amount of data in the range GB to TB. You know very well about GB and TB, right? Gigabyte, terabyte. In secondary memory, there are two types of devices. One is fixed and another one is removable devices. Fixed devices means what? Your hard disk drive or CD or DVD drive. What do you mean by CD or DVD drive? CD or DVD, if you want to write a data, okay, you can insert your CD and burn it, your data will ready, right? Hard disk means your secondary device. It is fixed inside the CPU, okay. Then what about removable devices? Removable devices are pen drive or you can say Blu-ray disc. See, this is removable devices. Pen drive, your floppy disk. Now in this days, floppy disk nobody can using, okay, only pen drive or smart card, then micro card they are using, and CD reader and writer. You can use this CD as reusable, read and write. Then CD writer only, this CD. Then apart from CD, you can also have DVD, reader and writer. RW means reader as well as writer. Then DVD, reader only. Okay, these all are secondary devices. In which category? Removable devices. We can remove these devices easily, right? But we cannot remove hard disk or we cannot remove CD or DVD. We can remove, but it is fixed in the CPU, right? CPU tray. So this is about secondary device. Now difference between primary memory and secondary memory. Yes, primary memory is temporary, but secondary memory is permanent. How much long you want to store your data, you can store, okay, but primary memory is temporary, and it is directly accessible by processor or CPU, right? But in secondary memory, it is not directly accessible by CPU. It is also known as main memory or internal memory, primary memory you can call, and it is also known as external memory or auxiliary memory. It is usually called volatile, means when system is turned off, data will going to erase. It is non-volatile. When system is turned off, your data is still remain in the memory. Primary memories are made up of semiconductors, but in secondary memory is made up of magnetic and optical material. These all are the difference between primary and secondary memory. I hope you are understanding these concepts. Okay, if you have any doubts regarding these, just message me or give me a call. Now the next part is ports and connectors. Ports and connectors. Computer port is an interface or a point of connection between the computer and its peripheral devices. For example, see, this is socket, this is connectors. Okay, I want to switch on the light. So when we connect or plug in this cable onto socket, then turn on the buttons, so you will get light, right? So this is what we can call ports. Similarly, ports and connectors. So similarly, in computer you will get the different kinds of ports. For example, mouse, keyboard port, monitor, printer, speaker and flash drive. Okay, so the interface or a point we can call computer port is an interface. Interface means somehow we have to connect external device to particular point. So this is called what we can call interface. We want to access this point to this point, is called as interface. Connection between the computer, yes, this is our computer and its peripheral devices. Peripheral devices means these all are we can call peripheral devices: mouse, keyboard, monitor, printer, speaker and flash drive. See, these are ports we can call. These two ports we can call PS2 connectors. This is called onboard audio out. This is parallel port we can call. This one is serial port for monitor purpose. These all are USB ports. This is Ethernet port. These all are onboard ports. I hope you understood this point, what do you mean by port. Okay, and peripheral devices, you remember this term, peripheral devices: mouse, keyboard, monitor, printer, speaker and flash drive. Okay, serial port, it is used for external modems. Modems means if you want to use internet in your home or office, you need modems. And older computer mouse, this is old computer mouse. Okay, it has the serial port, right? See here, serial, and this we can call serial port here. And there are two versions available in serial port. One is 9 pin, another one is 25 pin model, and data travels at speed 115 kbps, kilobyte per second. How to read this? Kilobyte per second. Okay, so 9 pin and 25 pin model means like this. So here 25 pins, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 and up to 25 pins, and another port is 9 pin. These all are 9 pin. Okay, and serial ports, see, these serial ports, they were used for connecting older mouse. Now mouse are available in USB port, but this is old mouse. Okay, now these are also known as communication ports or COM ports. We can call COM ports or communication ports. These port transfers a data in which manner? Serially, how? One bit at a time. Okay, serially means like this. This is your data, it should be transferred in through this port by serially, one by one, and one bit at a time. So this is serial port. Then next one is parallel port. It is an interface between computer and printers and scanner. To connect your printer or scanner, you need which port? Parallel port. And these parallel ports we can also call printer port. And it has 25 pin model. These are 25 pin models. 25 pin. Okay. These all are resides on the rear side of the CPU or CPU rack we can call. See, through this port we can connect our printer or scanner. Okay, and here in this port data transfers parallelly, one byte at a time. In serial it is called bit, right? In parallel port it is called byte. Byte means 8 bits. You remembered, right? 1 byte means 8 bits. See, in this way, this is your data. So how your data will going to transfer? In parallel way. B1, B2, B3, B4, B5, 6, 7, 8 up to 1 byte. 1 byte means 8 bits. These all are 8 bits from here to here. Okay, and it comes under how much? 25 pins. I hope you understood this concept, serial port and parallel port. Okay, now PS2. PS2 port, what we can call personal system. PS means personal systems bar 2, used for connecting mouse and keyboard. See, this indicator shows that this port belongs to mouse, and this one indicates that it is belongs to keyboard. This one is mouse and this one is keyboard, also called as mouse port. PS2 we can also call mouse port. PS bar 2 connectors are color coded as purple per keyboard and green per mouse. Color coded. You can see in your home, these we can call PS2. Apart from this, here holes are there, right? These holes represents total 6 holes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One port 1 means here. Port 1 represents data. Port number 2, pin number 2 represents no connection. 3 is ground. 4 is 5 volt supply. 5 1 is clock. 6 1 is no connection. Okay. These represents like this. Now in USB ports, USB stands for what? Universal Serial Bus. Some competitive exams they will ask questions, expand USB. So Universal Serial Bus. These serial ports, USB replaced serial ports, parallel ports and PS2 connectors. Okay, nowadays USB ports are using. It can be used to transfer a data, act as an interface for peripherals, and even act as power supply for devices connected to it. See, you can understand this. It can be used to transfer data, act as an interface for peripherals, right? But what about this power supply? In your mobile phones you are charging, right? So using with the help of this cable, right, that is called USB cable. Okay, through USB cable also you can supply your power supply per devices, right? So USB cable, this is cable and this one is port, USB port. Now power port, three-pronged plug means like this. This is three-pronged plug, connects to the computer's power cable that plugs into power bar or wall socket. Here, okay, behind your computer, this is power port. Now VGA port. VGA port is found in many computers, projectors, video cards and high definition TVs. This is called what? VGA port. Or in your monitors you can able to use these ports, VGA ports, or projector. To connect your projectors you can use this port. It has 15 pins in 3 rows. So these are total 15 pins in 3 rows. Row 1, row 2 and row 3. Okay, row wise 5 pins. Total 15 pins. Now Ethernet port connects to a network and high speed internet. Why we need Ethernet port? To connect internet and connects the network cable to a computer. This is network cable. This is Ethernet port. This one is Ethernet port and this one is Ethernet cable or network cable. See here, behind your CPU rack you will get this port. This port is what? Ethernet port, and data travels at 10 Mbps to 100 Mbps depending upon network bandwidth. Here, Ethernet port. It connects network cable to computer and data travels 10 megabits to 1000 megabits per second depending upon the network bandwidth. Okay, this is your laptop. In laptop also you are getting Ethernet port. This is Ethernet cable. Now game port. Connect joystick to PC. This is called game port. Connect to your game porting device, that is joystick, this port. Okay, this cable will going to connect to play a game. Any games you can connect joystick to your computer. Nowadays it is replaced by USB. See here, this is USB port. This port is now replaced by USB. Okay, see, joystick is replaced by USB cable, right? Now can you identify after reading all the ports, will you identify this? So what kind of ports it is? These PS2, right? PS2 port. Which one? In PS2 how will identify whether it is belongs to keyboard or mouse? See, the picture is given. This represents what? Keyboard, and this represents for mouse, right? And what about this Ethernet cable? This is what? USB cable, USB port. This one is Ethernet port, right? And what about this serial or parallel? Serial port. This one is VGA port to connect the projectors. This one is parallel port. Okay, and this is what? Game port. These all are what? Speakers, headphone, microphone. I hope you understood these ports, right? Okay, now identify this. This is updated CPU. Here this one we can call serial port. This one is display port. This one is HDMI. Nowadays most of the systems they are using HDMI port. These all are what kind of ports it is? USB ports, right? USB port. This one is Ethernet port, and this one is power port. Okay, if you have any doubts regarding these concept, please ask me. Okay, thank you.